Change. A Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. Narrated and written by Janet Bonilla. This is the final part 2. A slow reveal. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out the previous parts. Other than that, please leave a like and I hope you enjoy. Marinette and Adrian were sitting in Master Fu's with Tiki and Plag in their hands, looking sorrowful as ever.
"I'll miss you very much, Marinette,"
Tiki squeaked. I'll miss you too, Tiki, Marinette said, giving her a peck on the Kwami's head, pulling her into a small embrace. I hope your next owner treats you well, Tiki, she said, with tears dwelling in her eyes.
"And I hope you live a wonderful life."
The Kwami smiled at her sadly. Are you sure we can't keep them for just a little longer? Adrian pleaded, tearing up as well. I'm sorry. Once your job is done, there is no purpose in keeping your Miraculouses anymore. Master Fu explained.
"Do you think I can have one last piece of camembert before we bid farewell?"
Plag asked, trying to soften the mood. Okay, Plag. Here you go. Adrian gave the cheese to Plag while also giving him a hug. Plag didn't seem to mind this time. The time finally came when Marinette and Adrian took off their Miraculouses, and after a bright light appeared surrounding the Kwamis, they disappeared. They each took turns placing the Miraculouses in the miracle box. They sat there silent for a moment, unsure how to respond to this sudden change in the atmosphere without their dear Kwamis. And now what? Marinette said, with a lamented look on her face. Now you live your lives, relieved of the pressures of being a superhero at last. Master Fu confirmed. I must thank you for all the hard work you've done throughout the years. You've done wonders, and I cannot thank you enough. With that, Adrian and Marinette stood to their feet to say their goodbyes to the guardian of the miraculous who had helped shape them into who they are now. They left holding hands, fingers intertwined. They were chatting about the memories with their Kwamis. Marinette leaning her head on Adrian's shoulder, eyes swollen from crying. I told you they were made for each other ways. Master Fu had a sad smile as he saw them leave together. The couple left in silence. Nobody died, but they did lose something that day. They lost a piece of themselves that would always live on in their hearts. Mom, Dad, can you come here? We need to tell you something. Marinette had her parents sit on the couch. They were gonna tell her parents they were superheroes. Yes, darling, what is it? Her mother said, slightly concerned. Marinette quickly replied to ease her worries. Oh no, don't worry, it's nothing bad. Oh dear, are you guys pregnant? Tom asked, almost excited. What? No, Dad! She held her face in her hands with embarrassment. Adrian was also flushed with red shades of embarrassment. Nothing like that. It's just we're... She looked at Adrian with a face that said, "Help me out, would you?" How do you put it? We were superheroes. We were superheroes. Ugh, Marinette blurted, sighing in frustration with how long this was taking. What? Haha, that's funny, dear. Now what is it really? Her dad seemed to not notice the seriousness in their voices. Tom, they're being serious. Sabine intervened. Let them continue, please. Adrian began this time. See, Marinette was Ladybug, and I was Chat Noir. Really? That's amazing. I can't believe it. I'm so proud of you two, Sabine exclaimed, standing up to hug them both. Wow, I'm so proud. You risked your lives countless times. I could have lost you, Marinette. And if something happened to you, son, I would have never met you. I know it's a lot to process, Papa. We're right here, though. We are safe. Nothing will happen anymore. Marinette hugged her father. Adrian looked at the two of them, Marinette in her father's arms. Adrian wanted to get past this problem with his father. He wanted to be able to hug his father too, even if that meant facing him in jail. I think I'm gonna go get some air. Adrian trudged outside, pulling out his phone. Hey, Mother, can we talk? Adrian and his mother walked together to the police station. Are you sure you want to do this, Adrian? Emily asked, concern etched on her face. Yes, Mom, I've already made up my mind. I need some closure. Adrian looked at his mother, on the verge of tears. Maybe say sorry to him, or just yell at him? Not for any particular... Actually, no. There are too many reasons. Oh, come here. Emily pulled him into a hug, comforting him as he broke down into tears like he did the night he found out. It's okay to cry. I'd be worried if you didn't have any reactions to everything that has happened. Adrian couldn't tell if his tears were of rage or of sadness. Probably both. He just wanted to talk to his father. Maybe he was being a bit dramatic when he said Gabriel didn't deserve to be called a father. But hey, he's allowed to have feelings. Composing himself, Adrian continued what he was going to say. I think I feel guilty. Like if maybe I had said something or done something to change his mind about doing this. No. Don't ever blame yourself for what your father did. It was his choice and his alone. Nobody could have done anything to stop him. You know him. He's a persistent man. Fine. I guess you're right. They finally arrived at the station. Adrian thought maybe Natalie could have stopped him. He knew she was Mayura now, and something of a gut feeling told him Natalie had encouraged Gabriel's behavior. Maybe if she did something different, his father wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. It was probably wishful thinking. As he got to talking to his mom the past week, he learned his father had good intentions that turned into years of despair. Basically, the story was that on a trip, they had found the butterfly and peacock miraculouses, along with a spell book. They had never planned to use them for bad. Emily hadn't even known the extent to the power of these miraculouses. All she knew was that they had kwamis. She never knew what their powers were. Emily liked going out transformed and breathing in the night air with Gabriel. They were out pretty often, while Natalie and the gorilla kept an eye on Adrian. She asked Dusu to spare any details, because she never even planned on using her powers. Gabriel had a different agenda. Apparently, he was obsessed with the miraculouses, finding out every possible fact he could find, whether it was from the grimoire or from Nuru and Dusu. He said it was just out of curiosity, which was true at first. That was when Emily started getting her dizzy spells, and Gabriel knew something was wrong. That was also when Adrian's father started giving him less attention. The last thing Emily saw before she went unconscious was Adrian outside her door, looking worried. Father, I think there's something wrong with Mom. Even worse than her dizzy spells. I tried shaking her awake, but she's not waking up. Adrian was only 12, maybe 13 at the time. Please, call the nurse over to check on her, Adrian pleaded. If it wasn't for Adrian's shaky voice, Gabriel probably would have just brushed him off. Gabriel walked into Emily's room to see her just barely on the bed, as if she had fallen onto it. Adrian, tell Natalie to call the nurse immediately. Hurry! He yelped. The worry in his eyes was clear as day. Don't worry, Emily. Everything will be just fine. Just fine, you hear me? A single tear streamed down his face as he pressed a kiss on her forehead. Father? Father? The nurse will be here soon, Adrian stated, coming over to the bed. Is Mom going to be okay? Gabriel stared at his son, then back at Emily. I hope so. Adrian, I hope so. Emily greeted the officers. She had decided to get a job as a police officer because, well, she knew it wasn't her fault her husband did the things he did, but maybe she was trying to compensate for all the damage he had done while she was in a coma. Excuse me, Officer Roger. Can we get the keys to cell block B? I need to talk to my husband. Oh, of course, Emily. Make it quick, though. Curfew is almost over for them. She nodded and led Adrian to the cells. Adrian, how are you? A familiar voice came from one of the cells. Not Adrian's father, though. It was Natalie? I, I, I'm fine, I guess, Adrian muttered, unsure how to respond. Emily didn't notice, and it looked like she was talking to Gabriel from his cell, so he had a few minutes to talk to Natalie. "Oh, Adrian, I'm so sorry for what happened. It's my fault. I let him become Hawkmoth, and I helped him. It was wrong, I know that. I just wanted to say how sorry I am for everything we put you through. Finding out your mother was alive was probably already a lot to take in." "Yes, it was. I accept your apology, Natalie. It still doesn't change what you guys did, though. What you put me and Marinette through." "Marinette? Isn't she... But we didn't do anything..." "What?" Natalie faltered, very confused at what he was saying. "Oh, right, I forgot you guys didn't know. I'm Chat Noir, and Marinette is Ladybug," Adrian said in a monotone voice. He had pretty much told everyone he cared about, including Emily. It was more like she apparently already knew their identities because it was obvious to her. So he wasn't nervous to tell her at all. She couldn't really do anything about it either way. "Adrian, over here. We're going into the investigation room for some privacy. Come on, we don't have much time." Emily called him over. "Wait, I'll be right there," he called back from across the hall. "Sorry, Natalie. Maybe I'll see you again." Adrian walked over to his parents, hesitating slightly when he got a call from Marinette. "Hey, Marinette, Adrian, where are you? I thought you said you were going to get some air. I've been so worried. Are you okay?" Adrian continued walking down the hall, barely able to get a word in with Marinette. Whoa, whoa, whoa. "Don't worry, Mare, I'm okay. I just needed to go visit someone." He stopped right next to the door, unaware that Gabriel and Emily could hear his side of the conversation. "You went to visit your father, didn't you?" She was aware of the silence on the other end, which confirmed her theory. "I'll come pick you up. It's getting late. I'll see you soon," Marinette decided. No, you don't have to do that, Marinette. I'm with my mom, and she can take me back. I don't want you to see me like this," Adrian piped. "Oh, please, I'm your girlfriend. I don't care if you're angry or crying. Your family changed drastically. It's understandable to have emotions," she comforted him. Thanks, Marinette. I guess I'll see you soon, but not too soon, okay?" Adrian still hadn't talked to his father. That was the whole reason he called his mother in the first place, anyway. "Yeah, duh. You do know how far the police station is from my house, right? Well, anyway, you probably want to get to actually, talking to him. Don't want to waste your time. Bye, Adrian." He hung up with a great big smile from ear to ear. Bye, Marinette. He was always happy to talk to his lady. He was always happy to talk to his lady, after all. He peered into the room before walking in. "I'm telling you, Gabriel, she's the sweetest thing ever," Emily exclaimed. "Oh, did you know she knows he favors passion fruit macaroons? I didn't even know that." Adrian smiled at how Emily adored Marinette and sat down across from Gabriel. He had gotten over his anger, so he could have a normal conversation with his father. Or, at least, as normal as it's gonna get. "Hi, Dad, nice to see you again." "Is it? Do you really mean that, Adrian?" Gabriel expressed. If he was gonna have a conversation with his father, Adrian should probably be truthful. No, not really. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to start. Why are you sorry? I'm the one who should be sorry. You have absolutely nothing to be sorry for, Adrian. He could tell by the look in Gabriel's eyes that his father was really trying to, how could you put it, be better. Thank you. I know you're trying, Father. I'm okay with it now, sorta. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I forgive you. It's just very hard to process. As it should be. You don't have to forgive me right now. You don't even have to forgive me at all. I know I wouldn't. It's okay. I understand why you did it. I feel like there's a but coming. But I have a question for you. Yes, what is it, son? Why did you drag it on for so long? Why not just surrender sooner? I I don't know. I guess I thought that your mother's life was in my hands. I would never have forgiven myself if something happened to her, he answered, looking up at Emily. Like, what about your girlfriend, Marinette? Would you sacrifice yourself to save her? Yes, I would. I have, actually, Adrian confirmed without any hesitation. Oh, yes, I forgot to tell you. I'm Ladybug and she's Chat Noir. No. I'm Chat Noir and she is Ladybug. Adrian quickly corrected, rubbing his neck in embarrassment, which earned a rare but genuine smile from Gabriel. They continued talking for a bit until Marinette came to pick him up. Maybe he didn't have a normal conversation with his father, but they sure tried. That is for sure. 7 months later. I am so proud of you all. You've come so far from when you were in middle school. I hope life treats you all well. And never forget, if you want to change the world, you must learn to love each other first. Miss Bustier announced. They were in the courtyard of their college. Miss Bustier, along with some other previous teachers, had come to their graduation to witness the peak of their school lives. She even made a speech to greet them goodbye. The ceremony was coming to a close, and there were lots of tears from the late adolescent teens, and as well as the teachers. So, this is it, huh? Nino looked at his friends for a minute. Don't you dare think that it's the end for us four. We'll always be friends. It's just our classmates that we're gonna have to say goodbye to. Alia insisted, bringing them into a group hug. Yup, I'm gonna miss them all. I miss Tiki even more though, Marinette said, looking at the ground in sadness. It has been months, and nothing happened villain-wise. Of course, that was a good thing, but she kinda missed all the adventures she'd have with Adrian and, of course, Tiki. I know, Marinette, but we aren't superheroes anymore. We have to let them go eventually. I know it's hard, but it's true, Alia declared, squeezing her friend's hand for support. I mean, I don't really have the right to say, since we didn't have Kwamis with us everywhere we went, but I'm sure she would want you to move on, right? Alia gave her a sympathetic smile with her question. Yeah, she would. I just kind of feel like incomplete without her, you know? Hey, maybe you could use your designing skills to, I don't know, make some Kwame plushies? So you never forget her, Nino suggested. You can even make us some. You know what? That isn't a bad idea at all. Thank you, Nino. Marinette looked excited to start designing. She pulled out her sketchbook. It looked like the exact one she had during middle school. She got a new one since her previous one had run out of pages to sketch on. Hey, maybe you should wait until we get home. That way you can concentrate with the silence. It's not particularly designing material out here, Adrian joked, holding his laughter in. Come on, it's funny. No, it isn't. It's not funny at all, she giggled. Ollie and Nino cracked a few smiles and then joined in on Adrian's laughing. Seriously? You guys too? It wasn't that funny, Marinette pouted, crossing her arms. Honestly, it kinda was, dude. Nino calmed his laughter while saying, You guys are lame. Clearly, you don't understand what a good joke is. She put her hands on her hips this time. Or maybe it's you that doesn't know a good joke when you hear it. Alia furrowed a brow in amusement, which earned laughs from all of them, including Marinette. Later, they went home to their new apartment they had been working to get for months. Adrian, Alia, Marinette, and Nino actually were sharing the apartment. All their parents pitched in so that once they could get jobs they could pay instead. Obviously, Marinette was planning on being a designer, and she had already sold something to some of her classmates. Even Chloe bought a thing or two from the website Alia helped her create. As for Alia, she continued her astronomy blog and even got to do some exclusive interviews for some local news channels. Nino also started making some money with some DJing gigs from parties or clubs over the months. Adrian from time to time would join Nino's gigs and earn some cash like that. Of course, that was only occasionally. He wanted to continue his parents' company, which Emily had now taken full charge of, since Gabriel would be in custody for another couple of months. When he wasn't modeling and such, he found the making of designs and production to be fascinating, especially since his girlfriend was a designer herself. They had just gotten back and saw some movers moving some furniture into their apartment. Would you look at that? Looks like all the furniture is finally here, Adrian proclaimed. We really need to thank our parents for helping us pay for this place. It's perfect, Marinette said excitedly. Are you kidding? It was practically all Adrian's parents who bought it. Our parents just paid for furniture and extra fees. Ollie concluded, looking quite amused herself. They would have bought everything, but your parents insisted on helping with something, Adrian stated. They all settled down, making conversation as they began dinner. They moved in together and had finally graduated college, which was one of their best accomplishments. Adrian talked things with his father. They had a better relationship now, for the most part. And speaking of relationships, Marinette and Adrian's had been growing strong with 7 months and counting. Alia and Nino had also been growing as a couple, so there's that as well. Everything was okay in their world. Things had changed, but for the better.